So today's topic is based on one of my mini courses designed to help you start saving a lot more money through gambling deductions on your slots play specifically, but also whatever else you need to keep gambling records, including table games. The course includes spreadsheet templates and examples from my own gambling records using them. If you are unable to itemize deductions for income taxes, keep in mind it's only one big hand pay away. It's best to start keeping gambling records before it happens to you. Disclosure. I am not a certified public accountant or income tax professional. Please contact someone who is a CPA or income tax professional for your unique income tax circumstances. And of course, I'll be taking your questions and let me share that and make the banner available. And awesome. So I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. Hello to you watching this recording on YouTube, Twitter, my Facebook profile page, or listening later to the audio on a podcast episode. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe or follow for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much, and a special thanks to my moderators for helping with today's live streams. Got two of them today, I think, and that's great. If you have a question, use hashtag question. That's so I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is a community video where friends check in with lots of comments to one another, which is great. So please, if you have a question for me, start your comment with hashtag question. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots live stream. I do these every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday at noon Eastern to help you improve your slots performance, leave with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'm going to change your life a little bit today so you can visit your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way to do that, to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better, is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online course. They start getting coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. Yep. I'm your host, Dr. John Friedel, but please call me John. If you're new, how these live streams work is I pick a slots topic, usually inspired by your questions from prior live streams, comments on Facebook or Twitter, from emails that I receive from fans, or from weekly discussions to my Slots IQ membership group. Each live stream, I talk about that slots related topic for about 20 minutes and take your questions for the next hour and 40 minutes. I hit a hard deadline at 2 hours, which is when my voice starts to give out. So I'll get to your questions as soon as I cover today's topic, but start asking them now. It's a free service, and I'll get to as many of your questions as I can as soon as possible. And I think there was a question that was at the last minute last time. I think it was from Brian. So when we get to the question section of this live stream, Brian, if you're here, your question will be first up. Okay, so let's dig into it. Come on, here you go. All right. And so the first secret to the slots gambling record keeping is that there are relevant IRS.gov publications, which I have used to cover gambling income taxes, losses, deductions, and more. Please be aware the IRS can and will update these online articles as they deem necessary. So these are the articles. That's the secret. The IRS has expectations which they require you comply with, and these are the publications that you want. In the course, I'll provide links and all that other stuff, but if you go to the irs.gov and you look up under their resources database, you're looking for publication 29, 505, 525, and topic number 419, and that's right. So lots of comments coming from all over the place. Excellent. So IRS will update these. So I always try to share the link to what the irs.gov website shows so we can all follow them when they make changes. The first two secrets to keeping gambling records is that there are two aspects to gambling records. The first secret is how to comply with what government expects you to do with regards to income taxes. The second secret, and I will share that now, is knowledge. That keeping gambling records is doing so helps you win. How? Well, outside of life-changing jackpots, keeping track is the only way to know you're winning, and that's just the beginning. Playing slots is gambling, and which means you win and lose. Okay, we got a visitor. Kitty sighting. Kitty sighting. Kitty sighting. Kitty sighting. There you go, Hetty. She's got a new toy, and I'm expecting all kinds of comments. Kitty sighting. Kitty sighting. Yes. I don't see Emil around. He's probably lurking somewhere watching me. So yes, playing slots is gambling, which means you win and lose. If you keep track of when you win, write down notes on why you won, then you can win more often at slots by improving your plans. The same is true for losses. If you keep track of when you lose, write notes on why you lost, then you can use those records to lose less often at slots. Getting better at winning and getting better at losing means developing different skills. Okay. I am covering these very, very quickly. And this is an example. It's a complex example. Maybe I can make that just huge for you. Right. So this is the advanced version of my spreadsheet templates, which I offer. This is an example of a collection of my past wins and losses, and kind of how to handle trips and comps and all of that. So this is part of that mini course that I'm offering as a discount during this live stream only. And so that is something that you can take a look at if you purchase the course. But and so this is the example of how things can get complicated. But the third secret is ease of use. Gambling records must be practical for them to be successful. That's the third secret, ease of use. Just creating a log is sometimes too much of a burden, which is why I provide you with templates. And for most, successfully keeping gambling records means doing so on your mobile device to and from a casino. Well, guess what? There's an app for that. Several of them for both Android and Apple devices, which you can use for my spreadsheet templates. How cool is that? And that is the simple version of my templates. It depends on, I explained in the course why you would want to use this versus that. The simple version is just what the IRS wants, but record keeping is a lot more important than just what the IRS wants. There's other things you will need to record, and I'll go over some of those things, which help with gameplay analysis. And so that's the easiest look at it, and the prior one was the hardest look at it. So the fourth secret is that from my mini course is that Microsoft freely allows smaller mobile devices to install their Excel spreadsheet. If you're interested in this free option, be sure to Google it for the latest details. There's a lot of options out there, whether it's Android device and others, or Apple or Google Docs, and this all gets to be complicated. I mean, it's not complicated to me, but it's complicated for other people because there's so many different ways to use the internet. So Google what the latest is and about getting that free Excel software, and see if your device qualifies for that deal, that freeness from Microsoft. And then the spreadsheet templates, I provide a couple versions. One is Excel, but others are the simple and easy format, including a PDF, which you can just print out. Yeah, how easy is that? So the fourth secret is Excel. The fifth secret is that the fifth secret offered in my mini course is that free slots play usually has no value. Therefore, it's not taxable income in the eyes of the IRS. You can see this for yourself. You can see that it has non-cash value. It's in the fine print of any mail, flyer, offer, or in your email that you receive that says you have free slots play available to you. Rarely, its value is as much as a fraction of a penny for every dollar of free play. So that $100 in free play might be worth as much as 1 or 2 cents. Secrets. I'm sharing secrets. And so, yes, it's not taxable. And so, people get $200 a week and they're like, do I have to record that for tax purposes? And I'm like, it's not money. And so in your records, the records that I provide, the templates that I provide, you want to make a note of where the machine ID, what the machine ID and location number posted somewhere on the side or face of the machine. That's secret number 6. These small pieces of label tape may be hard to see unless you can, let me share something. Yes, they can be hard to see unless you know to look for them. Sometimes it's right there in the front, sometimes it's on the side. So these are examples from Atlantis Casino. They aren't there for you. Let me make that so it's bigger. Okay, so up here, even bigger. No, yeah, there. So up here on this machine is that casino location. Down here at this location, which I'm using my mouse to point, which I shouldn't do, is this machine ID. They aren't there for you, but for casino employees to identify the machine that's been sent to work on, and the IRS doesn't need them for their records. You want them for your records for gameplay analysis. You want to be able to return to a winning machine, perhaps even if the casino moves it. Okay. And I have another example for you. This is labeled at the top, labeled at the bottom. At the top is casino location. At the bottom is machine ID. This is the casino location used at Atlantis. There's all different ways to do it. And here is another. I took this picture of progressive jackpots, and I'm tracking them for my progressive jackpot strategy. But over here on the side of the machine next to the picture of the panda machine, I zoomed in, and on the side of the machine, not on the front of the machine, are those labels with the machine location. What are we doing, guys? Machine location and the machine ID. So sometimes it's on the side, and I wanted to give you 2 examples of that. So secret number 7 of my mini course is a gameplay analysis tip. Keep a master log for the IRS, but then create other copies with just your gambling records sorted by each casino you visit. Doing so will allow you to evaluate your slots gambling performance by casino, or rather to evaluate each casino handling of your gameplay. This way, you can evaluate a casino's performance relative to the others you frequent. I go into this in detail in my book, and it is a bit of a colorful graph, shall we say? But year by year, casino by casino, and split it up and see which one you're wasting your time at, or see which if you're winning at 2 casinos, which one are you winning more at? I've had CPA clients, accountants who are clients, and who play slots and keep records and they were astonished by this suggestion. Why didn't I think of that? They said, and that's where we are at with our 7 secrets. All right, keep a master log, and then that you can sort. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. So this is where if you go to courses, and did I provide that link? I think I provided that link. So for today only, I'm offering 7 gambling secrets, records secrets to you, and So these are my 4 courses. One of them is free on comps record keeping, if you want to see how I give presentations. And I've reduced the price as of half an hour before I started the live stream. When the live stream is over, that I will take that away. And also my 30 days to play Slots Smarter and Win. Also, this is only for a few select people until tomorrow. It's eventually going to go out to all of the people who have purchased 30 days to play Slots Smarter and Win. My first course it's my second course on advanced techniques. And that course is $497 or 3 payments of $179.50. It will be starting. If you're interested going into that, you can see what you can do to pre-order it, and it won't be starting for a few more weeks. And that is something I'm seeing if their interest is there, if people want to do it. You'll get an email about this. You already have, if you've expressed your interest, and if you went to your plan to win on professorslots.com, and you went down here to Slots Labs, which is in development, a 6-week group coaching program, and you click this link, which is to get on the wait list. And so I've sent out an email. About half of the people who are on the wait list have seen it. The other half are apparently not checking their email. So I will send out a reminder today, tomorrow, before I open it up to a lot more people. I want to give those people who wanted it first crack at it. And that is something that you should be aware of. Yeah. Excellent. So let's take a look at the questions. Yes, there is a bit of, so it's raining out. Yep, checking for the cats. It's raining out, and it's almost not bright enough. It's kind of dark out, and you can actually see the hillside, and you can almost make out Reno Casino there. And yeah, it's been fun. With the weather lately. Let's see here. Questions. Yep. Hi, Jan. Hi, Texas Tootsie. Chile in Texas. Sure. Hey, Brandon. Glad you're here. It's good to see you. How's it going? Yeah. Here's Reno. And I'll talk to you later. Yeah, so today's topic is not money management. It is knowing whether or not you're winning. It's basics. Yeah, money management techniques is another topic. Hi Cheryl. All cold Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yep. And Serenity checking in from a snowy Pacific Northwest. Awesome. Oh, we have a donation. Thank you so much for the donation, Rob. That is wonderful and it's deeply appreciated. Thank you. And dollars, yes, Camilla, dollars are an important topic. And Serenity says, "Thank you for the special kitty guest." Well, if she jumps up here, I will show her. One of my moderators, Paula, was telling me that's not how you hold a cat, and I'm like, what? It's upside down. It's enjoying itself. So yes. Yep, Mary Ellen says, I love the kitty sighting. So the calico, the dark calico, the smaller one is female. Her name is Hedy Lamarr, named after the inventor of Wi-Fi. I think she also made some movies, and Walt Disney based the character Snow White, the Disney movie, off of Hedy Lamarr. But Wi-Fi is the point. And I also have a gray cat, which is much bigger, and he's a boy, and he acts like he's a boy. And that's my and as one of my moderators has, who's I think traveling today, says he renamed them Saboteur number one and Saboteur number two, and for good reason, and for good reason. Rob has a question. Looks like Vegas has record profits. However, the October revenue results show less coming to the gambler. Yeah. There's so one of the things I'm trying to accomplish, and I do this for paid consultations, but I also try to provide free stuff to everybody. It's a matter of keeping a balance. But yeah, when you look at how much record, like I was just asked this morning, discussing with one of my top fans, is looking at the high record revenues. How does it compare to last year? Because last year, sometimes it's even, it's not as much as last year. Last year was like a really outstanding year. And so how does those things compare? And I had a news report. You can see it here. If you go to professorslots.com and go all the way to the bottom, I had a nice conversation with Cincinnati's WCPO channel, ABC Channel 9, and there's a few comments there. I didn't end up on the video because, well, hadn't set up my studio very well, and they decided not to use any of my video, but there's comments and quotes there about the gambling situation in Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, in that kind of tri-state corner, and actually, seeps into all those states. And there's just this incredible industrial sort of like gaming industry changes there. Kentucky's has HHR machines, and it's just wildly popular. It's just like boom, and then that caused all the Kentucky legislatures to go, to other states and say, so how much taxes do you take for people on winnings, so that how much of that goes to the state? And the other states told them, and they were like, what? You get how much? And Kentucky went back to back to their offices and like, we're getting gypped. We're not asking for nearly enough taxes. Well, my goodness, we got to get on that. But that's controversial because this is not slots play, gaming regulations. It's pari-mutuel, and it goes to horsemen's purses. And so all that became like, okay, so how do they do it? Anyway, this kind of economic analysis is something that a few people enjoy and find some value in, and that is something that I try to do a little bit of. Basically, I'm following my nose. One of the things I did want to mention, and I'll mention it tonight in the Slots IQ membership group, and maybe I'll get some feedback there, is that you are aware that all of the slots channels are minuscule. They're small. I checked today, and Brian Christopher has been working on his slots channel for 16 years. And he has 535,000 subscribers after 16 years, nearly 2 decades. Where's the million subscriber channel, the 10 million subscriber channel? Those are the ones that are small. Everybody else on YouTube is, so we have this little thing, and I'm trying to dig into how to have a larger audience than everybody else. People have suggested, why don't you just do what some of the other slots channels do? And I'm like, if you compare how they are all doing and how long it's taking them to do all that, it's just like, I'll talk with the Slots IQ group later tonight. I'll get a little heads up for those who are members. Brandon has a question. Thank you, Chris, for your $20 donation. It is much appreciated. Kitty toy donation. Yep. Kitty toys. There's like 3 of them right there. There's a little bit of catnip toy on the other side of it. You can't quite make out there on the floor. Thank you. They appreciate it. Question from Brand M3Z. Does the morning after strategy apply after multiple busy consecutive days? Example, Friday, Saturday are busy, so go Sunday morning, or immediately following the busy day, busy Friday, so go Saturday morning. Find out. I mean, I would tell you, but there's a question of which casino is doing what. You learn your casino well. It doesn't cost anything except getting up early to go to a casino at 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning and just watch. And this is all, I mean, Flip may not be here, but Flip has told all of us in his efforts and successful efforts to go from 3 hand pays a month to 54 hand pays a month. He asked the very sincere question a couple of weeks ago, is it supposed to be kind of like so much thinking involved? And yeah, once you get practiced and once you get used to it, it becomes easy. So what you can do is you can go each of those mornings and say, if you have gambling records, and you can say, my gambling records show that I should obviously do one of those things that you said at your casino. Just remember to keep separate records for different casinos so you know which one's better. It's you're getting paid for hand pays. You're getting paid over $1,000, up to $20,000. There might be a little bit of effort there, and including standing there and just looking around and trying to think a little bit. Yeah. So trying to dig into this for you a little bit, kind of the situation. Does the morning after strategy apply after multiple busy consecutive days? Yes. The reason for the morning after strategy applies whether there's several or not. The casino would like to balance their accounting the way that they have planned. And if they don't do it the morning after a busy day, when that day is also busy, then they get behind and it becomes even more difficult. So fix yesterday, this morning, next morning, fix today, tomorrow morning. Otherwise, they get behind and it's all kind of like gets away from them. Hope that helps. Texas Tootsie says, I was amazed by how much revenue Texas takes off the 2 tribal casinos who the state keeps trying to shut down. So yeah, they've been more successful in the past. And Oklahoma, this is, I'm kind of like getting into taxes and I never thought I would, but the fees that the state of Oklahoma goes through, the state puts these fees on Class 3 machines because those are only allowed with a compact that had to be negotiated with the state. But Class 2 machines are possible in Oklahoma because that is a federal law. The reason they're not possible or so difficult in Texas is because there was a more recent, an older law, which is not that takes precedent than IGRA in 1989. So this is, the standing of people who are objecting to tribal casinos having casinos in Texas. Anyway, Oklahoma saw how much they're being charged for having Class 3 machines, and the state was like, well, nobody really enjoys playing bingo machines, and Oklahoma said all the players, all we need to do is educate our players to enjoy playing bingo machines, create the market. Might take a couple of years, but by golly, there's a lot of money to be made versus Class 3 machines. So overall, in the state of Oklahoma, not every casino, but overall, it's about 45% Class 2 machines and 55% Class 3 machines. And most other states, all other states are nothing like that. Washington has Class 2 and Wisconsin has Class 2. Alabama is entirely Class 2. And that is something that is, where people there want to know. how to win in them. And there is a way. And I haven't written an article. I've talked about it with paid clients, but I'm heading to Oklahoma in December to go talk, sit down with a couple of these fans who have verbally explained it to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm here, show me, and answer a few of the questions that I had after their explanations. So yes, and before that, I'll be going to another tribal casino, but with that tribal casino, is it next weekend? Yeah, I guess. And that will be in Louisiana. Okay, hello, John. Hi, Steve. Good to have you here. M3Z, who I've chatted with off the live streams, and has some very interesting things to say. No doubt, gambling channels get suppressed logarithmically. Yeah, there's a shadow suppression and other things, but on the other hand, 500,000 subscribers on our biggest channel, reduced from, after 16 years, from, it should be 100 million, right? And 10 million, 1 million. And so that's a lot of suppression if that's what's happening. And I think it's so severe that it would be a bit much to call it that. Yeah. Yeah, some channels are growing. My student who started his channel in February has been growing fairly well. He's now twice the size of number of subscribers as myself, almost. And but he got a boost from Brian Christopher. He told me on the phone that Brian Christopher subscribed when he had like one video up, and he had 2 likes total on his channel, 1 or 2 subscribers, or no subscribers, something like that. And then he woke up the next morning with, I don't remember if he said 60,000 views or 600,000 views, and he's been going like gangbusters since then. But that's something that the algorithm that YouTube does. That should die off in 18 months, and he's about a year into it, nearly 10 months into it. I am very concerned for him, because that's a trap that channels fall into. They think they're doing well, and it's because of the algorithm. Yeah. It's interesting stuff. I'm happy for the Slots channel. Let me know when he gets to 1 million. And Camilla says, yeah, I don't have time to watch other channels. I keep an eye on the titles and stuff, but I'm not there to watch them, because honestly, if they can't get to 1 million subscribers after 16 years, if they're only at 500,000 subscribers, I'll just figure it out myself. And what I try to provide is practical advice and valuable information, as Camilla says. Yeah. But I got to figure out my messaging a little better. When I have to do it by scratch. I have some concepts. I talk about this with the Slots IQ membership group, and how the sausage is made, as they say. And if you like sausage, don't ever find out how it's made, because it can be like, I'm not sure I like sausage anymore. Yes. Please hit the like button to draw more attention from the YouTube algorithm. So the more the merrier. But Brett asked a question last time, and I promised him that I would answer it first thing this time from Tuesday, and hopefully he's here, or we'll watch it later. So here's the question from Brian. Yes, and let me share it as soon as it pops up. Good. Brian says, do psychiatrists play a large role in designing the interior of a casino? That is to say, carpet, bathroom location, bars, smoking sections. Okay, so you see that casino right there, Atlantis? They are very old. Reno started having casinos before Las Vegas. They're very proud of that fact. And while that building is, I think, the last edition, they have three towers that sort of building on it. Um, the, the third tower that they added is the concrete they did it 30 years ago, and it's made out of concrete. And the concrete, if you're a mechanical engineer or materials engineer, you understand that concrete has a lifetime. And this is not a tribal casino out in a reservation where you have room to expand. This is not downtown Reno, but in Reno, and there's parking structures all around and other properties all around, and so all they can do is go up and not out. And so when you talk about the layout of the casino floor, that was designed a long time ago, 30 years ago. And using psychiatrists to figure this sort of stuff out. I mean, I've been to a lot of casinos, and I walk in and I can see how it's laid out and the thought processes that went behind it. And Derby City, all the aisles are kind of like curved, and what is it? Firekeepers in Southwest Michigan had the devil of a time finding the exit, because it's like a disguised exit, and not meant. Keep walking, keep looking around. Maybe you'll find something. Be encouraged to maybe play a slot machine. Just make it hard to and like no clocks. I mean, these are simple things that just take all the clocks down, and that is a psychological thing that can be done. What else can be done? And so if it's newly designed, like I went to Legends Bay yesterday. It opened yesterday, 3 months ago, 90 days. Yesterday when I was there, it was their 90th day open. And they did not install themselves in a pre-existing building. They made the building. Okay. I go to Atlantis Casino, and I walk through, and I'm like, there's like old casino floor plan on top of old casino floor plan on top of old casino floor plan. And now I look at it and I'm like, it's like having a plate of food. The pie, the peas are over there, the mashed potatoes over there, the stroganoff is over there. Sorry, I'm mixing my starches. And you just kind of like, instead you're looking at that plate with everything kind of like separate. It's all kind of like mixed together. And it's like, wow, it's kind of like a lot of prior ideas kind of thrown in with newer ideas, and then the latest ideas. And so I can see where a psychiatrist would be like, no, you got to be focused. And the older casinos in Reno don't have that. And I'm going through each of them. I went to 4 new ones yesterday. There's 11 total. I didn't go to Nugget, but I did go to GSR, Grand Sierra Resort, and I also went to El Dorado on the Row. El Dorado, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous about them. I've been asking for permission to record, and I got some yeses, and some, well, let us check. And so I was talking to the executive casino host at El Dorado, and I said, oh, by the way, so I'm requesting this permission. If I get permission, would I be allowed to go to the next door casino, Silver Legacy and Circus, because those are all Caesars properties? And he said, oh, we're actually sending your request to corporate. And if you are approved, you will be approved at all Caesars properties. Harrah's, Horseshoe, everything. And I'm like a little nervous, because I'm like, really? And I don't know if anybody has done that. And that is something interesting. So if my moderator who goes to North Carolina, Harrah's Cherokee, well, I'll talk to him tonight, I hope, and ask him about if he got approval, because he does have a channel. Okay. Yeah, right. So there is the newer casinos are more well thought out. The older casinos are like were thought out and then thought out and then thought out, and you can't really change the position of the bathroom in a skyscraper because that's where all the pipes are. Um, and so, yeah, there's definitely some thought going into that. But how the age of your casino and this whole, um, let's see here, and I will take care of that. Good. And we get some scammers in XX. Actually, it's not people; it's actually a robot with many, many emails. And so they'll be. So thank you, Chuck. They'll be back in a moment with another emails as though nothing ever happened. Yeah. And so, yeah, great question, Brian. Yeah, absolutely. If your casino is having a major renovation, if it's a new building is put up, that's the sort of thing that it pays for itself. Yeah. Question from Flip. Hey, Flip, good to see you. Oh, you've been sick since Thanksgiving. I'm. Please take care of yourself. I was chatting with some people lately, and there's kind of it may not be COVID, but there's kind of like I'm going to crowds, and there was a whole Thanksgiving thing, and but there's also the flu, and and I eat at a buffet, and it's like, well, you could have food poisoning, and so there's all these things out there. Please, please, please take care of yourself. Yeah. Still tried to gamble and experience my biggest losses due to lack of focus. Yeah, we were just talking about your question or comment a few weeks ago about why is this so, want to do it. Well, you're making $40,000. What do you have to do to make $40,000? Maybe put a little thought into it, and so many people are trying to make that transition, particularly the new people, is making that transition from, hey, I'm just going to push a button, and how do I do that better? To when do I go? Which casino do I go to? What's the strategy? Do I walk through the casino beforehand and look around? What am I looking for? Every casino is different, so different things to look for. This is all very hard. And so, yes, you are there. You have seen that when you are, it's not just being sick, but being tired, being liquored up. There is a difference. We talk about it as a Pareto, right? 80-20 rule. 80% of the knowledge is all you need to be successful. But if you can make that 80%, 85%, 90%, then you become super successful. That's putting people on the moon, baby. That's the kind of level that's at. So most people are like, well, you just show up, and that's how you win. Well, that's kind of the wrong analogy for slots. Yeah, if you're not focused, if you're not, yeah. Sorry for your losses. Let's see. And Camilla says, I am convinced the distinctive sense in casinos are deliberate. That's interesting. There's so there are things, sense that can cause, I don't know. I wish I could go to your casino and say, your casino smells different and it seems deliberate. I would not be surprised if it were. There are, I wouldn't be surprised. Saint says, question, is it possible to hit more on a low volatility machine? Volatility isn't about hitting more or less. It's a statistics term which is being used wrong by slots channels, but volatility is like it rolls off the tongue and it's a pretty name, and isn't it just a lovely thing to say? And people think that they sound smart if they don't know what it means. And most people don't know what it means, so they sound smart, except, to me, where I'm like, no, that's not what volatility means. So volatility comes from poker, where you have a game of poker, and it can be bonus or what, a jacks or better, and the different poker games have different game rules, and the average return can be spot on to be 98%. And when the odds are improved at very few places, on some in the North Las Vegas, where it's 102%, then you can just play and play and play. On average, you get the return in a steady, slow progress. Volatility is it going to be that percent return? Or is it going to be on either side of that percent return? Because sometimes people say, well, I like the higher volatility machines because they're kind of like, can be more, can be less, but they're still centered on that same amount. But they're kind of like, could be high, could be low. And if you happen to get high, then you walk off the machine, you preserve your gains, and you can take a win that way. So some people like the low volatility machines and the high volatility machines, but it's not about winning more. And that's where everybody goes wrong on all these slots channels that use the word volatility. It's not about winning more. It's about how much around the average. Is it steady, or is it kind of like all over the place? Sometimes very low, sometimes very high. And so is it possible to hit more on a low volatility machine? So if you get a big jackpot and the machine's paying out, if it's set to win, it will just give you wins, constant wins. And that's low volatility. It won't be like $1,200, $500, $5,000. It won't be all over the place. It'll just be like every win is $200. You know, you're making 80-cent bets, $200, $200, $200, $200. You know, and that is a low volatility machine because it's always $200. But if it's a high volatility machine, then it's going to be on average $200. Sometimes it'll be zero, sometimes it'll be $1,200, but on average it'll be $200. So again, the odds are not, you know, volatility is not about how much you win, it's how often. I hope that helps. Texas Tootsie says, I'm going to fight back with essential oils. Knowing her you know, the phases of the moon might help. All seriousness, you know, being completely serious here. So that was an excellent question. Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't smelled smells at the 50, 60 casinos that I've been to that made me question whether or not that scent was happening at that casino. And I'm really sensitive to smells. So I have to see if I ever come across a casino that has that. M3Z says, a question, I've seen you mention slot season. What are you referring to? How many people go to a casino? And this is, you know, when the biggest times when people go to the casino and the lowest times when people go to the casino, and the consequences of that. You're welcome, Saint. The consequences of that. If you are going when everybody gets out of school, families have their children get out of school and they begin their vacations, April, May, early May, end of April, and then suddenly, you know, and the parents, you know, find a sitter and they go to the casino because they're on their trip, and maybe they, you know, in Nevada, I'm seeing all these kids like walk through the casino with the parents, and there's no checking of ID. Like, wow, you know, I didn't realize it was like this. It's not like that in the Midwest. I'd only read that South Dakota, Deadwood, did that sort of thing where you could sit there in the bar and with your children. So there are seasons where more people go to the casino, and then there's seasons, which is the other side of things, which is the return statistics, where casinos are raking in more revenue. But then, is there a correlation? Is there look, and you can also look at more than just returns. You can look at more than just revenue, but you can look at returns. So these three factors are what businesses look at. This is what casinos are businesses, and they're looking at how many people do we have coming in. We have a target that we want to meet as far as profit, and are we hitting our profit? And if we are hitting our profit and so many people are coming in, then we can raise the return because we're still hitting our profit. But if not enough people are coming in, then we lower our return, which is kind of a stupid idea because then more people don't come in. Casinos are stupid, or you could say short-term thinking. There's a slot season, and this all matters to businesses, and business are the ones that set the odds. Legal gaming regulations set limits, which are so far out of whack that the average return in Nevada, the state of Nevada, on slot machines is 93%, 92.7%. Just been that way for a long, long, long time. What is the legal limit? 75%. Is there an average return on penny machines that's low? No. I mean, I think it was like 82% got for when they were still doing this for the line item, which was what is it called? That big jackpot. What is it called? Mega Millions slot machine, which is progressive. There's only one machine, one jackpot. All the machines have the same progressive jackpot, and it drops all the way down to 10 million. And the return statistics for Nevada used to call that out separately, but they stopped like a year and a half ago doing that and you could see it was like 82% when the whole state average was like 93.7%. And I guess they decided that, do we have to tell people that popular game is just like terrible, terrible odds? But it was still above the state limit. And that tells you how useless the state limit is. Chris says, I'm looking forward to buying the record-keeping course to compare and improve what I've already tracking. That's great that you track. I know you do, Chris. And it's great that you track. And I'm hoping to get more people kind of like even considering the idea of doing that, because how do you know if you're winning if you aren't keeping track? There's plenty of business books, management books that talk about, if you want to have a business, what do you need to do? Well, you need to keep track of whether or not you're making money or can. I was watching Thomas Crown, the Tom Hanks movie recently. Again, it's like one of my favorites. And so, if you don't understand these concepts, if you don't know that you might make a profit, why would you even start the business? And people, do that. And I'm running out of savings. I sold my house finally, closed everything out Tuesday. Didn't make much at all, which is fine. I'm out from under it. When you have a log home that was made 35 years ago by the first owner and his brother-in-law, the general contractor, it turns out there's a few things that maybe they didn't do. And not exactly professionally built. And I did not check, and the new owners did. And so, and for Chris, so I tell this to my students because when you come from high school and you become a first year student, and like I was teaching physics and I was teaching engineering, and I would say, welcome to college. You need to become organized. And people say, how do I become organized? And I say, well, you are organized. You do stuff already where you have at least a little bit of organization. And I can't tell you to switch to something else. I don't want to tell you to switch to something else. I want you to use what you do more, better, improve yourself, starting with what you already do. I just cringe when I go into a gym and some consultant walks up to me and says, so, are you interested in learning how to get yourself fit, and or versus what I'm bringing in water, or services or something, and they say to me, what do you do? And I say like, oh, I do push-ups in the morning, and they're like, no, 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 you need to stop. You need to stop. And I remember one time that they got interrupted by a phone call and went to take care of it, and that's all I got. Stop. Waiting, waiting. You have these advisors who say, no, don't do that. Okay. You got anything else? Yeah, I've had trolls who have said, nothing you say is accurate. And I'm like, how to be safe in a casino, how to keep gambling records, how to look around, how to think a little bit maybe about what you're doing. If nothing I say has any meaning as they intend, what the heck? It's just I so often I think trolls, come in like several varieties, and just understanding them. Yes, as one of my moderators says, there's the internet, John. Have you met it? So let's see. Is there another question that people are asking? And let me see. Let me look at this. Right. So James had a question, and I will share that here. Yes. So James had asked in the past, my question is, how much should you start out in high limit rooms? And let me show that with you here. Yes. And so James, there's walking into the high limit room, which is kind of a big deal. People are nervous, and I'm completely in support of people being nervous about walking into a high limit room, because our bodies understand when we are threatened, and ignoring it is to our detriment. So yeah, should you go into a high limit room? Okay, so when you feel comfortable, that's when. The second thing is, how much should you start with? Well, I would start with exactly what you're doing out in the low limits area. Okay, if you are play 50-cent bets, and you like to set at a machine, and you like to make minimum bets, 50-cent bets, and you have $200, and then that means that you're making 400 bets. And that's what you do on each machine. And so if you are looking to kind of repeat your performance, then you need to go to the high limit room, and you need to make 400 bets, which would not be $200 bankroll, but on a $1 machine, which is not high limits, would be $400 bankroll. On a $5 machine, that would be $2,000. On a $5 machine, three credit machine, it would be $6,000. So just scale up per machine, scale up on what you want to do. How much do you put into each machine in low limits? Just, $100, $50, and then multiply that 50-cent bet or 88-cent bet or $1 bet by what you want to make bets in the high limit room for that many bets, and for the same wins per on average, for that $100 bankroll, how much bankroll would you need to make the same amount of bets, but possibly the same amount of wins in the high limit room? And that's how you figure it out. Use your knowledge to do it. I'm not going to tell somebody to, how much money to take to the high limit room. It's not my money, it's your money. And so that's how you figure out, do what works for you at your casino out in low limits, and then transfer that knowledge to the high limit room. I hope this helps. Yes, Kibo, that is, I was talking to the Uber driver on the way to one of the casinos yesterday, and my goodness, he was all for that. Oh yeah, you want to walk away when it gives out a win. And I'm like, what? No, if it's set to win, keep playing. duh. We are always, people are asking me all the time, how do I tell if, what's a machine to play? What game, what slot machine should I play? They say. And, I talking to a senior executive host at Legends Bay yesterday, whose brother is Spencer Christian, who spent 17 years as the weather guy on Good Morning America. I recognized his brother. Anyway, so I was talking to this Uber driver, and they were like, "Oh yeah. When you walk away?" And I'm like, "This is not the 5-pull method. Maybe you want to sit around and see if it's not just taste, but actually is a winning machine." And I talk about my tough love method. I provided the link to it. It came out today about an hour ago. My most recent demonstration of the tough love approach. And yeah, so this is all kind of like rumor. Now, Kibo, if you had won, preserving gains is to walk away. Too many people have a problem walking away, and they say, I am running to the exit. And that's a strategy. That's a money management strategy, which I completely approve of. But thinking that you wouldn't win again is something else entirely. If you think that I can't keep it, I need to get out of here now, go for it. Run. But if you're thinking, oh no, don't play it anymore, I'm going to go play something else because this machine is, it was due and now it's not due anymore, and I don't want to put more money into it. This is advantage play stuff. Was your win because there's an advantage play on that machine where you waited for the previous person who wasn't aware of that advantage play? They'd been building up the pot for that, and then you sat down and you got their pot, and then you're like, I'm not going to be putting in to build that pot up. So yeah. There's several things that you could be talking about here, and there's different answers for each, but mostly, if you want to get out, get out. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. And I'm offering my courses here for you today, a free one, not a free one, and as a discounted course. Here is my courses. Oops, there it is. Yes, these are my courses. One is always free, and the 7 Gambling Secrets was today's topic. Knocked it $17 off, which I will be raising the price back to its normal $37 in moments once I'm off the live stream. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win, which is here. And you'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including spreadsheet templates for slots record keeping in that course, not the explanation. That's the other small course that I'm offering for $20 today. And you'll also get a free bonus, the membership for 1 month free to Slots IQ membership group. And I'll talk to you guys who remember that in a couple of hours, and visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Okay, so that's it. What a great live stream. Lots of good questions, thoughtful questions, and great. If you see me, you'll see me again in my next live stream on Saturday at noon Eastern, or in the Pacific time zone, 9 a.m. In the meantime, I highly recommend this recent video, came out only like an hour ago, demonstrating my tough love approach at Atlantis Reno. Bye.